One wrong decision can change the course of human history in a single moment. Hormuz Strait, the lifeline of the Middle East, all routes of Iran shut down, and United States ready to strike at any moment. One missile, one impact. Cities collapse, armies crumble, and the global economy spirals into chaos. The power of these weapons is so terrifying that even the thought of them makes nations tremble. Do you dare to know what happens to the world when war truly begins? The United States and Iran, two powerful forces shaping the geopolitical balance of the Middle East. One possesses the world's most advanced military technology, a vast intelligence network, and a global military presence. The other, a regional power, with influence stretching across the Persian Gulf and deep into the Middle East. This tension is not just about military strength. It is about strategic positioning, control over energy resources, and a long-standing struggle for regional dominance. At the center of this geopolitical tension lies a narrow yet critically important waterway, the Hormuz Strait. Located between the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman, this narrow passage is one of the most vital energy corridors in the world. A significant portion of the world's crude oil passes through this route every single day. That is why the Hormuz Strait is not just a sea route, it is a cornerstone of global energy security. If conflict ever erupts here, its impact will not remain limited to a few nations. Within hours, the shockwaves could reach global oil markets, international trade, and energy supply systems across the world. History shows that relations between the United States and Iran have long been complex and volatile. Political disagreements, economic sanctions, and regional rivalries have repeatedly pushed both nations toward the edge of conflict. In recent years, the situation has grown even more fragile. Military drills, drone incidents, naval tensions, and diplomatic pressure, all contributing to an increasingly uncertain security environment. Many analysts warn that a small clash, a single miscalculation, or an unexpected military move could escalate into a large-scale conflict within moments. And if that happens, the question is no longer just about war. The real question is, who will pay the price? Which nation will suffer the most? And how deeply will this conflict impact the rest of the world? To understand this, we must examine how such a conflict might begin. Military analysts often describe two possible scenarios. Scenario 1, if the United States launches the first strike. Scenario 2, if Iran responds with a counteroffensive. Each path could reshape the Middle East and the global economy in very different ways. If the United States strikes first, the opening phase of war would be fast, precise, and technology-driven. Modern warfare begins with one priority: air superiority. Stealth aircraft like the F-35 and F-22 would attempt to dominate the skies within hours. At the same time, long-range cruise missiles and precision-guided weapons would target Iran's critical military infrastructure, radar systems, air bases, and missile launch facilities. The objective is clear: cripple the opponent quickly before they can mount an effective defense. At sea, the situation could escalate rapidly. U.S. naval forces may deploy warships and aircraft carriers across the Persian Gulf and the Hormuz Strait. This could severely disrupt global shipping and oil transportation routes. If the strait is partially or completely blocked, global oil markets could face massive instability within days. But the conflict would not end there. Iran's possible response. If Iran decides to retaliate, the situation could escalate dramatically. One of Iran's key military strengths is its extensive ballistic missile program. Hundreds of long-range missiles could be launched in a very short time. These strikes could hit military bases, airfields, naval installations, and strategic infrastructure across the region. A coordinated missile barrage could destabilize the entire regional balance of power. In the skies, trails of fire would streak across the horizon, radars flooded with incoming threats. Within minutes, explosions could echo across critical locations. At the same time, Iran has rapidly advanced its drone warfare capabilities. Surveillance drones, attack drones, and explosive-laden UAVs could overwhelm defense systems. A swarm of hundreds of drones would be extremely difficult to stop. But Iran's greatest strategic advantage is not just its weapons, it is its geography. Positioned at the gateway of the Persian Gulf, the Hormuz Strait remains a critical choke point. If tensions escalate here or shipping is disrupted, global energy markets could be thrown into chaos within hours. Oil prices could surge dramatically. International trade could be disrupted. Many countries could face sudden energy shortages. At that point, the conflict would no longer remain between two nations. The entire Middle East could be drawn into a broader security crisis. Regional powers would mobilize, global alliances would react, and with each new strike, the situation would grow more complex, potentially evolving into a much larger international crisis.
The most dangerous possibility. The most terrifying scenario emerges when a regional conflict begins to move toward nuclear war. Modern history has already shown the devastating power of nuclear weapons. A single nuclear explosion can destroy an entire city within seconds. Temperatures rise to thousands of degrees, instantly incinerating everything nearby. Shock waves can level buildings kilometers away. Infrastructure, roads, bridges, hospitals can collapse in moments. But the most lasting danger comes after the blast. Radiation spreads through the environment, contaminating air, water, and land for years. A nuclear strike is not just destruction, it is long-term devastation to human life, economy, and the environment. If multiple nations begin using nuclear weapons, the conflict could quickly escalate into the greatest security crisis in human history, a war that would not just affect nations, but generations to come.
History reminds us of one truth. War never stays confined to the battlefield. Its consequences reach cities, families, and the future of human civilization itself. A conflict between the United States and Iran would not remain a regional crisis. It could shake the political and economic balance of the entire world. This is not just a question of military power, but of responsibility, diplomacy, and the future of humanity. Because sometimes one single decision, one single strike can change the course of the world forever.